All right, hey everybody. Guys, homework. Just do 1 through 22. 23 and 24. They're kind of similar to what these are, but I'm gonna call those just challenge optional problems. I don't want you to get discouraged if you're having a hard time with those, and I don't want to make a separate video just for like one type of problem. So homework is 1 through 22 on the worksheet. Let's do some of the harder problems. So let's do numbers 18 and 19 in this video, and then there's only a couple more of the more difficult ones that you have to work on yourself. One thing here, guys, make sure you're doing the problems the same way I'm doing it. This isn't one of those things where it's like the teacher says it's this way, so it has to be that way. I know what problems you're gonna see in the future. Some of the techniques you guys are doing when you're submitting your homework, it's just not gonna work on more difficult problems. You kind of have to trust me on this. Doing it the way I'm showing you probably is gonna work, aka it's definitely gonna work. That's the reason why kind of every math teacher does these in a similar fashion. So again, if you have your own little way of doing it, I promise you it's not gonna work when things get more difficult. Please try to do it the same way I'm doing it. That said, this is number 18. So this is 18. And our goal here, guys, again, just visually, this is a line. This is a line. We want to see if they intersect. And if they do intersect, what would be the location of the point of intersection? So again, where do these two lines intersect? And we have a problem right away. Again, pause the video, write this down. I kind of have the 10-minute limit, so I got to go here. We have a problem. In the medium examples, what we did is because we couldn't just add them together right away, we would multiply one of the equations by a number, and then we would get opposite coefficients that we could cancel. We have a problem here. I think I've said it like 8 times. There is no number I can multiply 3 by to get to 5. No whole number anyways. Maybe I can multiply by a decimal, but I don't want to do that. So I can't get 3 and 5. They can't really become each other. 4 and 9 can't really. 9 is not a multiple of 4. So what I have to do is multiply the top by something and multiply the bottom by something. So you need to think of in your head a number where both 3 and 5 go into. What number are 3 and 5 both factors of? If you can't do this in your head, the answer is 15. 3 and 5 both go into 15. If you ever can't do that in your head, multiply the top equation by the bottom number and the bottom equation by the top number. Because I want them to be opposite, I'm going to have to make one of them negative. So pause here. Think of a number that both 3 and 5 go into. If you cannot do it in your head, multiply the top equation by the bottom number and the bottom equation by the top number. Make sure one of them is positive, one of them is negative. In this case, I'm going to multiply by negative 3. I'm going to multiply the bottom by positive 5. All right. I multiply the top equation by negative 3 and the bottom equation by positive 5. Because I want one of them to be negative, I want one of them to be positive. We use distributive property. Negative 3 times 5x is negative 15x. Notice here, these problems are going to take a little while. So negative 3 times 5x is negative 15x. Negative 3 times 4y is negative 12y. And negative 3 times negative 30 is 90. Just drew a weird line that didn't help at all. So this third line became that line via distributive property. Now I'm going to use distributive property on the bottom. Feel free to pause the video here, guys, and try to distribute this on your own. You should have gotten that. I just multiplied everything by 5 over here. Multiplied these two together to get that. And now because I have a negative 12x and a positive 12x, they're going to cancel. So I'm just going to combine the equations. I'm sorry, 12x, 15x, apologies. Then we just combine like terms here. So negative 12y minus 45y is minus 57y. And 90 and negative 90, those combine to 0. Okay, so now we got negative 57 times something gets me 0. Well, the only thing times that I can multiply to get to 0 is 0. So I kind of recognize that y has to be 0 here, because negative 57 times 0 gets me 0. Once I have y, I can plug that into any of these equations. We got 6 options here. I'm going to plug it in the top one up here because there's not too many negatives. So I'm going to plug y equals 0 into this guy right there. I got that as an answer. So again, where I saw y, I plugged in 0. 4 times 0 is 0. And then divide both sides by 5, you get -6. So that's how you do number 18. So same idea as before. That's the point where the graphs intersect. Same idea as before, except you have to multiply the top by the bottom and the bottom by the top. That's a little trick. All right, let's do number 19, guys, and we'll get out of here. Not really an intelligent thing to say as I'm in front of my camera, but whatever. Same idea here for number 19, guys. Again, I have a time limit here. I have to go a little bit quick here, so pause the video, write that down, please. Again, we want to get them to be the same number but opposite signs. I can't make 5 into 7. It's just not going to happen. I can't make 10 into 4. Just not going to happen. What I have to do is get them both to be opposite numbers. And a little trick I do is, if you can't do it in your head, think of just multiply the top by the bottom and the bottom by the top. In this case, that's going to work, but sometimes it kind of overshoots the target a little bit. And what I mean by that is, think of a number that both 4 and 10 go into. What's the number that 4 and 10 both go into? Technically 40 is one, but actually 20 is the smallest one. Both 20 and 4 go, both -4 and -10 go into 20. So I'm going to make both of these 20s, okay? So I'm going to multiply the top equation by -5 and the bottom equation by +2. If you want to multiply the top by 10 and the bottom by 4, that works as well. You're just going to have a little bit bigger number in the middle of the problem. Oh my gosh, awful. Okay. I am suffering here for lack of eraser of my marker. Okay, that's a mess. Apologies. I'm trying to get 4 and 10 to go into the same number. I recognize that they both go into 20. Technically, they both go into 40. You could use that if you want to. I'm just recognizing they both go into 20. Okay, so I'm going to make the top one +20, and I'm going to make the bottom one -20, because I want them to be opposite. So how do I make -4 into +20? Well, I would multiply by -5. So I'm going to multiply -5 to the whole top equation, versus the bottom equation, I'm going to multiply everything by +2. This should be +2 over here. All right, so -5 times -4x is 20x. -5 times -2y is 10y. 14 times -5 is -70. So yeah, trying to make 4 in them. I'm trying to make this one into +20x. Trying to make that one into -20x. Those are the numbers I recognized. If you weren't able to do that in your head, and you're saying, well, how do you know how to do it in your head? Just multiply the top one by 10 and the bottom one by 4, and it would work, okay? But if you ever see a smaller number, you can always pick a smaller number. Let's combine these equations. When I combine these, the x's are nicely going to cancel. What's 10y plus 14y? Probably 24y. -70 and -50 is -20. Divide both sides by 24, so you get y equals -5. And then to solve this, guys, again, I'm running out of time in my video here. You got to plug -5 into one of those. Probably this one right here. Probably plug -5 into there. I just plugged in where I saw y, I plugged in -5, and then I'm just going to solve for x. Okay, I'm a little bit out of time in my video here, but again, for homework, guys, numbers 1 through 22. Please do the problems my way. Don't just copy the answers online and just plug them in and see if it works. It's not bad, but this is better. I promise you, I'm not just wasting time here. Promise you, when the problems get more difficult, this way is going to work. Okay, hope everyone is doing okay. Take care.